Has your understanding of anxiety changed since you first started listening to these podcasts? Do you find yourself responding to anxiety in new ways? Welcome back to Quieting Anxiety, where we explore practical strategies to help you manage anxiety and build a more peaceful life. I'm Dr. Monica Frank, and throughout this podcast, we've been working together to lay a solid foundation to help you manage anxiety. Before we begin, let's take a few moments to focus on where you are right now in your journey. If you'd like, gently close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a slow, steady breath in and a smooth, steady breath out. As you settle into this moment, I'd like you to recognize the work you've already done. You've been showing up for yourself. You've practiced relaxation. You've explored mindfulness. And you've worked with your thoughts to build a more balanced way of seeing anxiety. You've also spent time learning, developing an understanding of what anxiety is and how to respond to it. This is not small. This is meaningful. You've already built a strong foundation. As you breathe, I invite you to say to yourself, I have been learning, I have been practicing, I am building skills that will help me. You might notice a sense of appreciation for the progress you've made, or perhaps a quiet confidence beginning to grow. Take one more slow, steady breath, and gently bring your attention to this episode, ready to reflect, to plan, and to continue moving forward. We've been working on building a foundation. It's time to assess that foundation and determine what you need to do to strengthen it or to maintain it. This episode will help you reflect on the skills you've developed and guide you in creating a treatment plan that supports your continued progress. So far, we've practiced relaxation techniques, mindfulness, and cognitive restructuring, powerful methods that can significantly reduce anxiety. Along the way, you've also gained something just as valuable, a solid educational foundation. You've learned how anxiety works, how to change your relationship with it, and how your thoughts, emotions, and physical responses are all connected. For some people, this combination of knowledge and skill building may already bring real relief. It might even fully resolve the anxiety they've been struggling with. But for others, anxiety can be more complex. It may require additional, more advanced techniques to fully manage. In the upcoming episodes, we'll begin to explore those next level tools. Even if you've made significant progress, I encourage you to keep listening. Future episodes can help you if anxiety resurfaces or if new challenges come up. Plus, some of the final podcasts in this series will focus on how to maintain your improvements over time. Before we move into the more advanced techniques, though, it's helpful to pause and reflect on the foundation you've built so far. You've been practicing essential skills: relaxation, mindfulness, cognitive restructuring. But you've also been developing an understanding of anxiety that can change how you approach it. You've learned that anxiety isn't just a random problem. You've learned how it works, how your thoughts, feelings, and physical reactions all play off one another, and how our natural instinct to avoid discomfort can actually make anxiety stronger. This educational component is a critical part of your progress. Understanding anxiety isn't just about knowing the facts, it's what allows you to begin changing how you respond to it. So as you consider whether you're ready to move forward, take some time to reflect on how this knowledge is showing up in your life. Ask yourself, How well are you using the relaxation techniques? Have you found a relaxation method that you practice regularly, even when you're not feeling anxious? Or is relaxation still something you only think about when you're overwhelmed? Does it feel like a useful tool, or does it still feel awkward or forced? If you haven't fully integrated a relaxation skill yet, you might decide to spend more time practicing before moving on. Also, think about how you're using mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't just about doing formal exercises, it's really about how you relate to anxiety when it shows up. Are you able to notice your anxiety with curiosity instead of judgment? Are you beginning to accept that anxiety is a natural experience, something you don't have to fight? Maybe you've practiced being present with discomfort in small ways without rushing to make it go away. And if mindfulness still feels difficult, that's okay. It's a skill that takes time to develop. You might want to spend more time with the mindfulness episodes before moving into more advanced techniques. And consider how comfortable you are with cognitive restructuring. When anxious thoughts arise, do you still automatically believe them? Or are you starting to slow down and question whether those thoughts are accurate or helpful? Have you practiced identifying common thinking patterns like catastrophizing, perfectionism, mind reading, or emotional reasoning? Have you tried using the cognitive diary to challenge those thoughts? Are you beginning to hear your own rational, compassionate voice more often? If cognitive restructuring still feels new, it may help to review earlier episodes or spend more time practicing before you move on. Also, think about whether your relationship with anxiety is starting to shift. Are you beginning to approach anxiety with more understanding and less fear? Or are you still mostly focused on trying to get rid of anxiety as quickly as possible? CBT isn't about eliminating anxiety. It's about learning to respond to it differently. So it's helpful to ask yourself, am I starting to move toward that mindset? Finally, consider how your overall understanding of anxiety has evolved. Do you have a clearer picture of why anxiety happens and why it can feel so overwhelming? Has this understanding helped reduce your fear of anxiety itself? A big part of the educational process is realizing that anxiety is normal. It's something you can learn to manage rather than something to avoid at all costs. You don't need to master everything before moving forward, but taking time to reflect on where you are right now can help you decide what's most important for you to keep focusing on and what you're ready to build next. Before you move on, we need to talk about how to structure your process, how to create a treatment plan that's personalized for you. Even though you've been working with the Quieting Anxiety podcast for some time, developing a written treatment plan is the next step to help you move forward in a more focused and intentional way. You've already been practicing key skills, relaxation, mindfulness, cognitive restructuring. But sometimes you may practice these tools in a more general way without fully organizing how they're applied to your life. A written plan helps you bring that organization and clarity. It's one thing to have ideas about what you want to change, but it's something very different to write those goals down in a way that's clear and specific. A written plan also helps you track your progress. Without writing something down, it can feel like you're just trying things randomly and hoping they'll work. But when you have a plan in front of you, you can measure what's helping and where you might need to make adjustments. A plan keeps you motivated. When anxiety starts to feel overwhelming, it's easy to lose sight of your efforts. A written plan gives you a roadmap, a place you can return to when you feel stuck or discouraged, something that reminds you of the direction you're working toward. And as we start moving into more advanced techniques in this podcast, A structured plan will help you make the most of those new methods. It gives you a framework for practicing and applying the tools in a more focused way, instead of just adding more pieces without a clear direction. This isn't about starting over, it's about taking everything you've already learned and creating a strategy that's more targeted and sustainable. A written plan helps you move from general practice to deliberate, goal-driven action. You may already have a plan, or you may have been following the suggestions in these episodes as we've gone along. Either way, now is the time to step back and really think about what's most important for you to continue or what you want to focus on next. This is about developing clear, written steps that fit your unique process, what you plan to do, and how you plan to do it. And even if you already have a plan, it's helpful to remember that treatment plans aren't meant to be rigid. They're meant to grow with you. Some of the things you practice now may eventually become part of your everyday life, something you just naturally do. Other things might only need your attention for a while, just long enough to develop a skill or change a habit before you move on to the next step. So what does a basic treatment plan look like? Typically, you'll start by writing down 3 to 5 specific goals that are meaningful and manageable for you. When you write your plan, you can start using specific phrases like reduce anxiety instead of get rid of anxiety. That small shift in wording can help you create goals that are more realistic and manageable. For each goal, you'll also describe the methods or strategies you plan to use. Maybe that's practicing relaxation, using coping statements, completing cognitive diaries, or gradually facing feared situations. It's also important to be clear about what you will track for each goal, how you'll measure your progress, whether that's the number of times you practice, how often you complete an exercise, or any other trackable step. And finally, you'll set a target date for each goal. This helps you stay focused and gives you a timeline for evaluating your progress and deciding whether you need to adjust your plan. One of the most important parts of creating a treatment plan is making sure your goals can be tracked. When you set trackable goals, you give yourself something specific to focus on, and you can measure your progress along the way. Without that, it's easy to feel like you're spinning your wheels, like you're putting in effort but not getting anywhere. For example, a goal like, I want to feel less anxious, sounds good, but it's hard to know whether you're actually achieving it. It's too vague. It doesn't tell you what to do or how to recognize your progress. Instead, you could set a goal like, I will practice mindful breathing for 5 minutes, 5 days a week. That's something you can track. You can see whether you practiced today, and you can notice how many days you practiced this week. And if you miss a day, you can adjust your plan without feeling like you failed. Or maybe your goal is to work on challenging anxious thoughts. A trackable version of that would be, I will complete one cognitive diary several times a week for the next 4 weeks. Again, this is something you can measure. You'll know whether you've done it, and you'll be able to look back and see patterns over time. My favorite way of tracking is to assess anxiety on a 10-point scale. For instance, what was your anxiety before and after using a relaxation audio? Trackable goals gives you a clear picture of what success looks like. You know exactly what you're aiming for rather than chasing a vague idea. And trackable goals help you evaluate what's working. When you can see your progress, you're in a better position to notice what's helping and where you might need to make adjustments. When things don't go as planned, trackable goals also give you flexibility. You can shift your approach, try something different, and keep moving forward without feeling like you failed. One of the best things about trackable goals is that they build confidence. When you can look back and see real progress, even small steps, it reinforces your belief that you're capable of meaningful change. I like to think of trackable goals as stepping stones. They help you move forward in manageable pieces instead of getting overwhelmed by the bigger picture. So for now, reflect on what you've achieved so far. Have you built a solid foundation? Do you still need more to help you fully manage your anxiety? Or is your anxiety under control and you need to focus on maintaining? Write out a plan that indicates your current goals, whether that is learning new techniques or strengthening what you already know. Remember, you can add to this plan as we continue in the podcast. Also, include in your plan what you need to do to meet the goals and how to track. As we wrap up, I invite you to take a few moments to visualize the next steps in your journey. Gently close your eyes if you like, and take a few easy breaths. Imagine yourself sitting with your written treatment plan. You can see it clearly in front of you, your goals, your steps, your direction. Picture yourself thoughtfully writing down what's important to you. See yourself following through on your plan, not perfectly, but consistently. You may notice a sense of focus, confidence, or even curiosity about the process ahead. Remind yourself, I am confident in building this plan. I am capable of adjusting it. I am prepared to make progress. Take a final, steady breath, and as you gently return your attention to the present moment, carry with you a sense of clarity, confidence, and commitment to your next steps. Until next time, keep practicing, keep breathing, and keep moving forward.